What do you do when one spouse is putting the other first, but the other isn't reciprocating? Shouldn't both put equal effort in? You talked about this a little bit last week, Matt, of the you first mentality.
Yep.
What do you do when one side feels like they're doing that, but it's not being returned?
So one side's doing it and the other one's taking advantage of it.
Right.
Welcome to marriage.
Yes. I mean, I think I said it last week that that's definitely a possibility that's going to happen. And it will happen. Well, it's just going to happen. Period. Because we're all broken, and there's times where it's like my selfishness is going to win. And I am going to take advantage of that. You kind of serving me. I think the question has a little bit of a deeper meaning in terms of the whole equal partnership thing. I'm not a big fan of balance. Balance, just in the way people use the word balance, like 50-50 and equal partnership and all that kind of thing. And that's just not marriage. That's not at all. Jesus described marriage in terms of Genesis like it's all of the man and all of the woman that create one thing. It's not an equal contractual partnership, because what happens with that is you start to deal with the idea that, well, you're not pulling your weight. You're not pulling your 50% of what you said you were going to do. And resentment starts to happen. So I would say, in this case, you got to view what God does, man. You reject God all the time, and He continues to pursue you and pursue you and pursue you and pursue you. That's the love we're given. That's the example we're given. That's what we're called to do. And submitting, mutual submission always starts with one, and it might take longer than you would like it to for it to start being a cycle of mutual submission, but it has to start there. That's at least what I'm reading in the question.
I used to think it was a 50-50
Right.
thing, but I found that it's more 90-10. It's like, and it switches back and forth.
Yeah.
Sometimes one spouse
Sacrificially,
needs,
yep.
And so there'll be times when I need more, and there's times when I can give more,
Mm-hmm.
and it should go back and forth that way.
That's good. Yeah.
I would even add to that a lot of, as I read into the question, I might be reading into it a little bit too deep, but a lot of it has to do with we have unmet expectations, like the idea that if I give 100%, then she's going to give 100%.
Right.
And so when that doesn't happen, then we get mad because, well, I just did that. You should be responding back. And so then those unmet expectations are what cause that
I
bitterness.
said you
and
first, and you're supposed to say
Right.
you
Exactly.
first back, and you didn't.
When I do everything, when I clean the house and I do the dishes and I set up the home and I prepare a really nice dinner, then babe, something's supposed to happen. And then there's these unmet expectations, and then we get mad. And when that happens, then we have these problems, and we don't communicate through them because the reality is we don't want to acknowledge our selfishness that was driving the behavior in the first place. So this question is really driven out of a selfish expectation that my behavior is going to get me something in return.
Yeah, that's good. I don't have anything to add to that. You guys nailed it.